Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and I just wanted to make this quick, informative video because, well, it's just come to my attention on social media, talking to people in person, even other creators, that this is just not widely known information. And you know me, I'm not one to give half-truths or cover for anything Wizards does. Oh, quite the opposite. And you know what? I suspect that might be why they don't like me. Although I did hear a rumor that some people who work at Wizards really do like me, which is hilarious. Shout out to all my WotC homeboy, homegirl fans out there. What's up? But anyway, we've all heard, hey, Dominaria is great, it's selling great, the prices are high, the boxes were like above 100 before release. I mean, finally a good set, people liked it, it was fun, the mechanics were great, they pulled off Legendary really well, they brought back characters everybody loved. The storyline was absolutely wonderful. They just nailed it, it was the perfect set, right? And it was a success, right? Well, I'd say that's the narrative, but I don't know if Wizards ever really, I mean, it's not like they made an article called Dominaria is a success. I'm sure their staff members have at some point, like on, blogs and stuff said, oh, it was good. People liked it. It went well. It was a good release, whatever. But I'm sure they say that about everything. I don't think they just came out and outright said, this is the best-selling set of all time, or, made some outrageous statement like that. They're just letting people fill in the gaps. I mean, anybody can go look on eBay and like the day after release see, oh, it's like $98 a box or 103 or whatever. Damn, successful product. Well, how do you reconcile that with the fact that attendance is down at the GPs? Attendance was miserable at most of the pre-releases from what I've heard. Although those reasons were, travel, weather, the World Cup. I mean, there was like 12 reasons not to show up. And I mean, honestly, seriously, do not discount the Pokemon Go events. That is the same market. Okay, there's some crossover there. I just got 4 hours of sleep and went to it anyway. I mean, So I get it. Wizards is not going to come out and say, oh no, it looks good, but actually it's not. Here's why. So don't take this video as me trying to say, oh, Wizards is lying to everybody. They have lied to the customers blatantly and directly in the very recent past. Hey, this is a limited print run. That was provably false because they made more or shipped more or had more. Depends how you look at it, but I don't think it would do well in court. But this time around, it is not them necessarily purposely trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes and front and say, oh, this is, a huge success or, mislead anybody, lie about the numbers, cook the books, something that level, no. But, if it was me running a company and people accidentally thought something that was just mediocre or bad was actually good, I wouldn't correct them, so I don't really blame them. But here's why you could conceivably blame them. So all the evidence, the rumors, and the hard evidence, literally talking to my distributor, looking at my own numbers and all the stores in my area, asking what volumes they got in, we can pretty well conclusively conclude, although I don't have hard evidence of this, but everything points to the direction of the first shipment of Dominaria was smaller, and there's no reason to do that other than on purpose, unless, whoops, they weren't done printing it. They get done printing it 2 months ahead of time. I don't think there was a reasonable reason other than, hey, boxes are too cheap. What do we do about it? And I mean, I made a video saying boxes are too cheap. What do they do about it? So yes, anything they could do to fix that situation, good for them. So I'm sure they had a board meeting saying $78 a box. We cannot do this. My solution was to find the asshole behind Sports and More who is selling, 5 to 10,000 boxes for sub $80, or at least some of them for sub $80. And cut him off. Don't let him ever sell another Magic product as long as he lives. I mean, you can't block somebody. It's a first sale doctrine. It's, Supreme Court looked at it. But you can tell all distributors don't sell to this person. You can not sell to whoever you want for almost any reason. So, I mean, then they're out of luck. There's only 6 distributors in the US. 7 if you count Wizards themselves. So, yeah, not that hard to just say, you're not getting 5,000 boxes anymore. Stop single-handedly ruining the product, you jackass. Well, I don't know if they had a chat with him or if he just was very unhappy about the level of money he lost on it, selling it way too early for way too cheap. Because remember, like I said, the day before release, it was over 100 a box, if I recall. So if you went in a month and a half ahead of time, pre-sold them for, 82 or 80 or whatever the hell it was, whoopsies. So I have a theory that he realized that even he's ripping himself off, let alone ruining the entire economy and the entire product for everybody in the entire world. But either way, this time around, Dominaria, I don't remember seeing it from them for even below 95. I kind of forgot to check early enough out. But I think I should slightly correct this. I think maybe Dominaria might have sold really low initially, and then it went high, and everybody who sold it low was like, crap. Battle Bond was the one where if you did that, you really got screwed. So at this point, I think that Sports and More is not quite as large of a factor, but if we get another set that doesn't look good, we could be right back below 80. So I still think that they need to do something about that, but I guess their idea to do something about it, their actual solution that they chose, was to not ship enough to go around the first time. Just basically pull in Eternal Masters. And it's not like, they're going to wait till Christmas like they did that time. What was that, 2-3 months later? And then they're like, here, have some more, re-release, woo, because the word limited, they don't know what it means. I mean, it's always been limited by the amount that they want to print. So in other words, no limit whatsoever. But limited is commonly understood to mean, when it's gone, it's gone. So this wasn't like, hey, it's limited, cut it off, boom, and then bring it back. Theoretically, the rumor and the evidence that seems to be coming together is that they shipped probably 75%, maybe as low as 50% of the number of Dominaria boxes that were supposed to go around. Every store, everybody, every vendor, every distributor got shorted pretty hard. They sold out way quicker than they normally would, and then everybody was waiting on the second wave, which came, at least 2 weeks later, at least. And 2 weeks is, might not sound like a lot, but it's enough to make the set, look really damn good from an EV standpoint. That's effective value per box. I mean, you can make it look damn good if people want X and they're not getting X because they only supplied you with, X minus some number. So, I mean, to put it simply, they caused an artificial shortage, and then everybody's like, whoa, the demand for this must be so high. No, the supply went down. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's not the demand went up because it's a good set, more players, the player base is increasing, more people are joining the game, people are coming back to the game. No, none of that happened from what everybody can tell. All they did was short the supply, potentially to make it look like it was succeeding better, but I think really just to maintain the price, to just be like, okay, what if we did this, what would it do? Oh, more expensive boxes, more valuable boxes. Okay, do it, because the boxes were crashing down to crap. Like the last 4 sets before Battle Bond were all garbage. They was terrible. I mean, Rick's was pretty bad. Ixalan was a disaster. Our was pretty bad. Amonkhet was the worst set I've ever sold in my entire life. So did they do it to make it look like the company's doing better than they were? Probably not, because everybody thinks, Wizards is going to prepare themselves to get sold. Well, as soon as you got to cough up the gross sales numbers, whoopsies. I mean, nobody cares about aftermarket, secondary market, values and stuff. I mean, unless they go really deep, they just want to know, what are your sales? Are they up or down? What's your customer base, up or down? In fact, raising the average price of a box on the market would just cause less people to buy less boxes. So, that's not going to make your numbers look very good. And then when everybody was like, oh, this is a hot set, it's worth a ton, ooh, I want to invest in it, I want to sit on it, people who are dumb and just don't realize what was happening, because I figured it out on day one. I heavily suspect that I thought, okay, they short printed this. No store in my area got the amount that they ordered. Everybody was getting the orders cut, numbers were changing. That means the distributors knew something we didn't, something funny was going on. So really the moral of the story is, don't look at Dominaria and say, oh, it was so successful, it must have sold well. No, they just manipulated it. And here's the thing. Do I think they should do it for the next one now that they've, been caught, I guess, by the community as a whole? No, they should short the first set. They should always short it. Local gaming stores will go out of business if they got to compete with $80 boxes online, okay? They can't do that. You need the boxes to be, a market value of $100 or more for anybody to keep a store open, and for there to be a margin for anybody, for single sellers to make money, for anybody to not go out of business. They need boxes to be that valuable. So I think they should short every single set. I don't even care if it lets me get less, because I don't need more of a set that's worthless and not valuable, that actually loses me money with every box I open. No thanks. Sometimes less is more. If I get in less but I can sell it for more, then, money's money. At the end of the day, it all adds up to a dollar amount. So I just wanted to make this video to, reveal to everybody who still doesn't know the highly suspected theory that Wizards shorted the first order of Dominaria. It was not high demand, high customer demand, investor single seller demand. It was a lack of supply that made it look successful. Dominaria really wasn't that successful. I mean, just look at what decks are popular right now. Dominaria really wasn't successful. Now, personally, I liked it, but I liked, Journey into Nyx. I thought that one was wonderful. Doesn't mean it's sold, I just liked it. I liked it as a set, so, it's kind of disconnected. The quantity that it sells is a whole different thing. By the way, the rumor is they had to cut off, the resupply of Born of the Gods and tell them to stop making it because nobody wanted it. Whoopsies. So don't buy into the hype, don't buy into the whole, oh, Magic's coming back, people are coming back to Magic, oh, everybody left during the bannings or didn't like even, $1,000 decks for the Khans of Tarkir block. All those mistakes in the past are in the past, and Magic is recovering. That might have been true briefly during the last year, but I don't think it is now. Everything I see is not pointing in that direction. GP attendance, F&M attendance, it's not like I have the worldwide numbers, but just, people spouting off the numbers that they know of and people who are kind of in the know, it's not good. The only silver lining here is if, they do the same to M19 and you open M19 on day one, it's worth a whole bunch of money, cool, good for you. It makes you more likely to buy it if you know what you're buying is more valuable. Bad news is single prices will go up. You'll have to wait longer to build your deck for a lower price, and it's just more expensive to play standard, and there's nothing good about that. So if they propped up the price by shorting it as a business decision, okay, that's questionable. It's a double-edged sword. But if they did it just for posterity and just for image that people think that they're succeeding, wow, great idea, not. So just take away from this what you will, and like I said, it is a theory. It might be just people spreading lies to damage Wizards. They might not have shorted it at all. Maybe the demand really was higher. I don't have a way of knowing. They never release sales numbers, nor would I recommend they do. That would be really dumb if they did. So hopefully that clears it up for everybody. If you have any other additional evidence for this or evidence against it, leave it down in the comment section, and I will see you guys next video, which is going to be absolutely hilarious, by the way. I've already written it.